Hey guys, Pastor Jody here from Bibles and Bread Ministries. Take a look at that beautiful sky. Not the greatest painters in the world would be able to paint something as beautiful as that. This is our backdrop tonight. See Miss Bella back there. The horses over here. And that brings us to tonight's word for the day. Hey guys, do you guys see that button right down there? Press that button and subscribe to our channel. We think it'll be greatly blessed by the word that the Lord has given us and the work that He's called us to in life and in ministry. And as you begin to do what God's called you to do, you have to be willing to change. Remember, Paul thought that he was doing exactly what God wanted him to do on the road to Damascus. And sorry, wrangling Miss Bella again. Where's she at? Where'd she go? Well, there she is. There's Miss Bella down there. See Miss Bella. So remember, when Paul was on the road to Damascus, man, he thought he was doing God's work, but he was mistaken, made some things. He was doing things the wrong way. It wasn't God's way of doing things, and so God showed up in a great way, had to stop him, blind him, change his mind, and then Paul had to make the conscious decision to change all that he knew and all that he was and begin to do something in a different way. And that's the way that God works in our lives. In our personal ministry, over 3.5 years ago, when we walked away from very good jobs and we started the work that the Lord had called us to, we had no idea where we were going to be going. And here we are today, doing the work in the streets with the homeless, feeding families who are in need. And when we were in those corporate jobs doing what we were doing for those years, we were doing that trying to save money to be able to get what you see behind me here. Now listen, it's not ours, we don't own it, but the Lord has opened up a door for us to be able to come and be able to work here and help these people out and be able to work on this place and still be able to do all of the work that the Lord called us to do. It's a huge, huge blessing. And this is the vision that I've had for my life since I was young. I've always wanted. I woke up this morning out feeding animals and we saw a big herd of deer, beautiful deer, bunch of them. And then this evening right here as we get ready to go sit down and rest for the evening, we see this North Texas sunset behind us, and the best of it's already gone. I apologize that I missed some of that. But see, what God did was God began to use us and began to do great things through us and in our lives and change our hearts and all that kind of stuff. And then now he's beginning to fulfill the desires of our heart. He's given us a bigger home than what we had to live in, with less of a financial burden on the bigger home than we had on the home that we had before. Don't ask me how that works, but that's exactly what has happened. And we get to spend our times when we're not ministering doing this and tending to these guys. Let's walk over here and say hello. Come over here and say hi. Tending to these guys here and being a blessing to the owners and to the ranch owners. We get to do really, really cool stuff. So it doesn't mean that we don't have to work for it. We are doing work for it. We're helping with the animals and help watch over the place and doing some stuff like that for them. But at the same time, this is what I saw my life being like whenever I was younger at this time in my life. So God is still using me in the ministry, and He's fulfilling that calling or that thing in my life that I've always wanted to be, that vision that I had for my life. He's fulfilling it today with less of a financial obligation than we had in the other home, where we didn't have a view like this. And guess what? God did it, and we're closer to the ministry here in Fort Worth than we were where we used to live. We were further out of town than we are now, but we still Look at that. Isn't that amazing? Praise the Lord. That's how good the Lord is and how faithful He is. And that's what He can do for you too. So we're determined that we're going to be a great big blessing to the ranch here. And we're going to continue the work that God's called us to. But what I want you to know is whatever it is that God's called you to do, if you'll be faithful to do it, it might take some time. It may be difficult. It's not always going to be easy. But He's going to but He's going to get you through it. And then He's going to bless you in a great way. And believe it or not, being able to come and live here, it eases some financial burdens off of myself and my wife, and actually frees us financially up even more to do the ministry that God's called us to do. So we're so thankful and so blessed. And I just want you to remember this, that if God's called you to do a thing, to step out and do it. He's going to bless you in a great way, and you're not going to have to, you're not going to have to worry about stuff, about finances or anything else. He's got your back. He's got everything that you need to succeed. Just walk in what He's called you to do. Have some faith, guys. Step out in faith and do what He's told you to do. And maybe someday, I don't know what your vision of your 50-year-old self looks like, but I'm going to tell you this. This is what my vision of my 50-year-old self looked like when I was a young man. And here I am, being blessed with it today. So God bless you guys. You guys have a blessed evening. And remember this, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. God bless you guys.